He had 8 different receivers. They had 400 yards of total offense. They had a balanced rushing attack. You saw the great throw that he threw to Garrett Wilson for the touchdown. That's not an easy throw, and it's just out of the reach of the defender, and it's a perfectly thrown football. You saw him reading defenses. You heard Kurt Herbstreit last night talking about the way he's moving safeties and linebackers with his eyes. That's vintage Aaron Rodgers. I was a little surprised that he moved around as well as he did, but that was obviously apparent last night as well, as you brought up. So I think the other part of this is that you got to remember they're playing a New England team that is really, really struggling offensively. I mean, they are terrible offensively. They have no playmakers. They don't even attempt to throw the ball down the field. And Jacoby Brissett was just, average. I felt bad for him because, he had that young offensive line in front of him. They got young wide receivers. This is not your parents' Patriots with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick standing there on the sideline. So you got to take that into account. But that's exactly what I expect for the first 8 weeks of the season, simply because of the quarterbacks that they're playing, the teams that they're playing. I told you I felt like the NFL did the Jets a lot of favors. Now they got to go over in London and play the Vikings, which is going to be a little bit more difficult than I think any of us thought it was going to be. But I will say last night, that was the vintage player that you saw all those years in Green Bay. And you saw the arm strength. You saw the accuracy. You saw the quick release. You saw the communication at the line of scrimmage. Has a run play call. Let's throw it out to Alan Lazard. He's one-on-one. He makes a couple guys miss. He's in the end zone. Those are plays that he does. Those are plays that he makes in a split-second decision. And, he has one play on, and he's going to go and do something else. And those wide receivers are all alert for that type of stuff to happen at the line of scrimmage. So there's not any more you can say than we've already said in the last 3 minutes about his performance last night. It was a thing of beauty, and now they get 10 days of rest, and they get to enjoy a long weekend, which I'm sure everybody was looking forward to. But 2-1 after 3 is exactly what we expected.
Yeah, and I don't care that the Patriots are terrible at this point, because you have seen some major screw-ups from good teams losing to bad teams early on in this season. I mean, the Cincinnati Bengals losing to the Patriots week 1 in their own building. The Baltimore Ravens losing to the Raiders in week 2 in their own building. Those are 2 major ones you think about. So, this was something that had to happen for the Jets, and it did. And, Aaron Rodgers is getting better and more comfortable every single week. And it just shows you that this is why you sacrifice everything for a guy like that. Because there's not someone at that position that can change the entire team more than a Hall of Fame quarterback who still has it. I mean, there's not – find me another guy, unless it's LeBron James or Steph Curry in their prime, that can go into an organization and completely flip the script.
Tom Brady.
Right. I mean, that's what I'm saying. A guy like that, a Hall of Fame guy.
Peyton Manning did it for Denver.
Right. So there's a few guys that have done this. And Aaron Rodgers could be the next one. Peyton Manning going to Denver, winning a Super Bowl. Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay, winning a Super Bowl. I mean, the script is there. And I know it's early, but Aaron Rodgers can do that too, and it's amazing. Rob Saleh looks smarter. Nate Hackett looks smarter. Garrett Wilson looks better. Yeah. Tyler Conklin looks better. I mean, everybody. The offensive line looks better. Breece Hall, Braylon Allen look like unstoppable running backs. It's incredible when you have a guy back there that is 50,000 times better than the crap you've been throwing out there for the last 15 years. Right?
I was thinking last night watching this, and, last week I felt the same way, but especially last night because it was even better than last week, and he's gotten better the last 3 weeks. But I think the competition has gotten worse the last 3 weeks. However, I was thinking that the Jet fan is actually looking at a real passing attack. I mean, the ball is coming out. The ball is in the middle of the field. The ball's on the sideline. The ball's at the line of scrimmage. The ball's 20 yards down the field. I mean, it's all balanced, and that's what the offense is supposed to be. I think they ran the ball 27 times, I think, last night, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit less. But the balance between the 2 running backs, the tight ends involved. Both tight ends are involved, by the way. The 3rd wide receiver is involved. The 2 stud wide receivers or 3 stud wide receivers are involved. So this is what a quarterback should be doing, should be distributing the ball,
Distributing
the ball. Yes, thank you. Distributing the ball, get everybody involved. And I thought early on was a little unique with Garrett Wilson. He had him on a back shoulder throw, and Garrett didn't keep his feet in. And that ball was perfectly thrown. That's what he did with Davante Adams all those years in Green Bay, and he wants him to be Davante Adams. I think there's a little bit of still a little struggle there, but that's minor. They'll get it right. They'll continue to work. He'll continue to push Garrett Wilson and get him to do the right things, give himself more room on the sideline so stuff like that doesn't happen, especially as the season goes on and they start playing tougher competition. But, yeah, the only thing that came out of last night that was a little bit concerning is the Morgan Moses injury to his left knee. So that I worry about that. Hopefully he's going to be okay. The Jets defense had 7 sacks, and Jeff Ulbrich was bringing the heat. He was bringing the heat because he knew the offensive line for New England was a disaster, and they knew that they had basically a quarterback that was a statue back there.
Yeah, and that left tackle who was a rookie and had no idea what was going on, had like 3 straight holding penalties. I mean, it was...
How about Drake May getting sacked 3 times?
Yeah, I mean, he got in there, and it was just, it was tough. It was tough sledding for him. At the very end, I actually stayed up and watched that entire mess live. Maybe I should have gone to bed probably earlier, but I wanted to see him. Once I saw him warming up, I was like, you know what, let me stay up and watch this.
The Patriots may be, they're going to be one of the 3 or 4 worst teams in the league.
Sure.
They are totally rebuilding right now. They're a mess. It's going to be a long season for them. They got the win the first week against Cincinnati, which makes you wonder what the hell Cincinnati was doing.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, but that's exactly the NFL so far in these first couple of weeks.
But not the Jets. But
not this one. I mean, this could have been a mess for them. It could have been very easily a mess for them.
We thought the Jets would be 2-1 after 3.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a disappointing opening night against San Francisco, but then they came back and they beat 2 teams that they should have beaten because of their quarterbacks.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't.
And other things, I should say.
Right, but I can't, when the Jets have been who they've been for so long, just say, oh, well, the opponent was terrible and they stomped on them and that's the only reason why they won. I mean, I can't.
That's not the only reason why they won.
I mean,
They took care of business.
Right, I can't say that. Yeah, I know the Patriots are bad, but this is what you're supposed to do. I mean, they had 3 points. They killed them. And it could have been worse than that. It could have been 35-0 last night.
And here's the best thing for Jet fans. They got a 1:00 Sunday game a week from Sunday.
Yeah, against the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos
and it's home.
And a rookie quarterback, assuming the rookie quarterback is still playing. It could be Zach Wilson. Never know.
It's not going to be him.
I know. But the way these things happen in the NFL and the way these young quarterbacks are running around, you just hope that they make it through their next game.
Yeah.
So they get to sit around, watch football this weekend, and they have the Denver Broncos coming up next. And the Denver Broncos will be one of the probably 5 worst teams in the league.
Yeah, I mean, when you've watched football for your entire life and you have certain feelings when you root for a franchise that does more losing than winning, and you see a quarterback drop back on a 3rd down, and you have, there's a feeling, there's this anticipation. And I've seen this my entire life, as a Vikings fan that has not had great quarterback play, and also watching the Jets and the Giants and Eli during his prime, that was one thing, but after that, it's been tough. But on a 3rd, there's no better feeling than on a 3rd and 6 when you've got a quarterback that you feel like there's a better chance that he's going to make that completion and the chains are going to move than not. And I know this is just a subtle thing, but for years and years and years, 3rd and 6, Zach Wilson drops back, and you're thinking everything but completion. Rolls out, throws the ball away, rushes the throw, throws it to some guy's feet, gets sacked, throws an interception. But with Aaron Rodgers back there, it's like he drops back, he knows what to do, ball out of the hand, maybe comes out, takes a couple of steps outside of the pocket, throws the ball to a wide open Tyler Conklin. I mean, it's just, when he is back there, there is confidence, a complete confidence that he will figure out a way to get that done. And that feeling is such a 180 from what the Jet fans have been seeing from that position, that you just can't put a price on that. To have a guy back there that you have faith in, it's so different than what we've been watching. And it's God, I just hope it continues in this way, and it has to It has to against the Denver Broncos, and I think it will.
Now, why wouldn't it? I mean, his arm strength looks great. His accuracy is great. His quick release is spot on. His movement last night was a 10. Never expected that. I thought the offensive line did another great job of pass protection. A couple times guys got through, but that's going to happen when you throw as much as they did last night. But again, it's a balanced offense, which you got to appreciate if you're a Jet fan, because you haven't had this in a long time. Maybe the last time you had this, I was thinking about this, is probably when Ryan Fitzpatrick was here, where they were able to run the ball and they were able to throw the ball down the field.
Yeah.
I mean, like on a consistent basis, where they were, a competent offense. This could be an explosive offense. This could be a huge offense and put up huge numbers when it's all over, said and done with. But again, it's a game last night where you could feel the excitement in the building. I was talking to some guys who were at the building last night, and they were like, "Man, this is unbelievable." They felt like they finally got their quarterback, and I'm sure that every fan that went there and watched the game got such great pleasure out of that ball coming out of that pocket with a spiral, hitting the guys in the chest, hitting it in their hands, and actually throwing the ball away from defenders, like on that Garrett Wilson touchdown. That's a Hall of Fame throw.
It's everything that you envisioned in your mind when that trade was made. Everything. I mean, when you dreamt of what it was going to look like, that was it. That was best case scenario. What'd you make of the weird Rob Saleh, Aaron Rodgers interaction on the sideline? To me, and I thought this right from the beginning, I don't think it was anything controversial at all. I think it was Aaron Rodgers saying to Rob Saleh, "Hey, it's too early to celebrate." They were only up, I think it was 14-0, and he was just doing that thing like, "Hey, too early." Like, it was almost as if it was, here, I'll give you an example. It's like me and you out there playing golf, and we're on a team together.
All right.
And we win we do a bet, front, back, overall. We win, and we win, like I make a putt to win the front. And I go over to you with a big pound, and you go to me, "Hold on, Biggs. We got a back and we got overall ahead of us."
That's true.
And you stop me from celebrating in that moment.
Focus.
Right.
I need your focus.
Right.
We haven't accomplished anything yet.
Right.
We just got to keep going.
And I'd be like, "Okay, yeah, you know what? Let me chill for a second."
Yeah, but unfortunately for Aaron Rodgers, what he doesn't realize is that poor Rob Saleh has got PTSD from coaching the Jets. Think about how this has been a long 4 years for him.
But
there's been a lot of losing.
Yeah.
And he's actually blowing off some emotional steam. And remember when he first got here, everybody said, "Where was that emotional guy that we saw on the sideline of San Francisco?" Well, there he is. So Aaron's trying to temper the enthusiasm for sure, because we got a lot more game to play, and we got a big season in front of us. And Rob is just trying to be that excited coach that we all wanted to see. But man, I'll tell you what. When you have a great quarterback, the coaches all look completely different.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Everything looks different, and that's why that position is so important in this sport.
Well, did you think that was? I mean, was that?
I don't know. I think
significant
you're right.
or not?
No, I think you're right.
Okay.
I think you got two awkward guys having an awkward moment, and I think it's probably due in large part to Aaron Rodgers going, "Okay, guys, I've been here before.
Yeah.
I've done this before. Let's not overreact to what we're doing, because this is what we're supposed to be doing."
Yeah. Right, exactly. That's what I took it. I don't think
if I go to golf and I go to one of our recent rounds together, and I think about a moment like that, it's when I had the Eagle at Brookville Country Club.
Yeah.
And you and Bob were like, "Oh my God!" And I'm like, "Hey guys, we haven't won anything yet. I've been here before. I've done this before. It's okay."
Yeah.
And you guys are falling over yourselves.
I mean, it was impressive. I mean, you hole out from 103 yards away. It's pretty damn impressive.
No, I know. I'm not saying it isn't, but all I'm saying is just let's everybody calm down. I know you may not have been there before, and one day you will get there.
Yeah.
And you'll have that moment for yourself, and then after that moment, you'll be able to appreciate all the next moments that come after it, but you're not going to overreact to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the video we did with the Barstool Golf guys on that first hole, where it was your drive, my second shot, and then you made that 15-foot putt. You dripped it in there, and I smacked you on the ass, and you said, act like you've been here before. And I said, well, I haven't, man.
Yeah, that's true.
I
You
haven't.
hadn't been there. I
had been there before.
But I think that's
Neither is Rob Saleh.
That's exactly right. I told you, it's the PTSD that he has from coaching the Jets over the last 3 years.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a huge deal. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers disrespects or can't stand Rob Saleh. It was just like, dude, chill out. And that's exactly what the Jets organization needs, is the Aaron Rodgers mentality like that.
Temper the enthusiasm down outwardly, not inward. Inward, you want intensity. You want to be focused. You want to be driven. Outwardly, you also want to act like you've been there before, even though a lot of these guys haven't been there.
That's right.
But Aaron has. So that is a little bit of maturity on Aaron's side, on his part, though. But when you saw Alan Lazard score the touchdown last night and run over and hand him the football, I think that tells you a lot. I think that tells you that, that was, Aaron was very excited about playing last night and getting that touchdown pass and getting that ball. And then I looked at the ball because they closed up. They went close up on it.
That ball looked like it.
I'm like, look at that ball, man. I could never. I mean, I wish I could have played with balls that were manipulated like that.
I mean, my God, that thing looked like it'd been through a war.
Oh my God, Al could throw that ball.